Okay.
Hello, Alexandra. My name's Alan. I'm a technician here at Vision RV, and I'm going to give you a little orientation to the unit that you've purchased so that you'll know where things are at and how to make them work. Okay. Fifth wheel unit. So your pin box at the front. Nice thing about this unit is that this pin box is far enough forward, with the pin being here, that you don't have to worry too much about the nose swing on your trailer when you're turning sharp corners with your truck. Only really sharp corners you might want to watch so that this doesn't come around and hit the cab of your truck. But with the pin being so far forward, you got lots of space in the front of your truck for the nose to move in and out. On the side of the pin box is the emergency breakaway cable, emergency breakaway switch. This is for if anything should ever happen and the trailer becomes detached from your vehicle, it'll pull this plunger out of here, and that will automatically deploy the brakes on your trailer to keep it from careening down the road carelessly. On the front of your unit here, this is a switch for the docking lights that are on the front of your trailer, so you can turn them on and off. That's to help you find the nose of your unit in dusk or dawn type conditions. This is for your landing gear, for the front jacks, for lifting and lowering the unit onto and off of your truck. A little bit of a cargo light here. Battery is tucked away inside here underneath this box. Battery's been checked. It does take a charge and hold a charge at about 13.7 volts. So battery is good. As soon as this unit gets plugged into shore power, it automatically starts charging the battery. When you're plugged into your vehicle, you will only provide a surface voltage to this battery so that it can run the lights and the brakes on your trailer. You can't charge this battery when you're plugged into your vehicle. The alternator, the charging system in your vehicle works differently. It's not going to happen. So the minute you get to where you're going and plug your unit into power, then the converter in your trailer automatically starts sending a charging voltage to the battery. There is one circuit breaker right here. If for some reason you don't have 12 volt power going into your trailer, check this circuit breaker. That's what it's there for, to trip in case you get an over voltage. Okay, coming around the driver's side of your unit, propane storage in here. You've got two full 30-pound bottles on your unit for you, so you can use it right away. Storage pass-through compartment. In here is this is a crank for bringing in your slides. If they ever fail, this is a way to manually bring them in. And then this is the hand crank for manually putting your stabilizer jacks down, which are at the back. We'll see those when we get there. Also inside your pass-through is a tripod that goes underneath the nose of your unit and underneath the pin on the pin box to help just support the nose of your trailer a little bit. Okay, behind this door, this is an outside shower. I'm sure you're probably aware of what that's all about, but let's open her up here. And so you have a small shower wand, hot and cold water available here. Primarily people use this to wash their dump hose off or anything else that they're going to be putting in their pass-through compartment, is to wash it off so you're not putting muddy, cruddy stuff in your pass-through compartment. You can use it to wash your pets before they go in the trailer, and I know myself, this keeps my granddaughter amused for hours until I run out of hot water, so that's another use for it. Lock that up. All right, slide outs. If you've never had a trailer with slide outs before, I got some information for you. These sweep seals, this rubber on these sweep seals needs to stay flexible so that it can do its job properly. Over time, it can dry out and lose moisture, and it will start to crack and shrink. There's a product called Seal Saver that pretty much any RV dealership will have it. It's a spray foam. You spray it on the rubbers, be generous with it, and then just let it sit there. The rubber will suck up the moisture it needs to replenish itself, and the rest will run off on the ground, and it is environmentally friendly and pet safe, so there's not a hazard there. With the slide out though, every time you bring the slide in somebody needs to check the roof of that slide box and make sure that there isn't a tree branch or a bunch of pine cones or anything large like that. Maybe a squirrel had a heart attack and dropped and fell up there. You don't want to be pulling your slide in with garbage or large debris on the roof of that slide. It will do two things. It will damage the rubber sweep seal up there that keeps the water out. And worst of all is it could damage the rubber membrane on the roof of this slide box. And then you're going to have water leakage and just all kinds of nightmares. Every time this slide gets moved in, somebody needs to check the roof of that slide box and make sure that it doesn't have dirt and debris on there. Now, pine needles and dust and stuff like that, when you bring the slide in, that's not going to create any damage, but you are going to get that dirt and debris is going to be inside your trailer now, and you'll get dirt all over the inside of your unit. So it's a really good idea to clean the top of that slide off before you bring the slide in. If there's a chance that there could be tree branches or pine cones or anything like that on there, you definitely want to keep that cleaned up. Okay, coming around this way. At the back of your unit here, this is where your power cord is. Right now we are plugged into a power cord that we've got here at the shop. This is your 30 amp power supply, okay? As soon as you plug in, boom, the battery automatically gets a charging voltage from the converter in your system. This cable here is about 25 feet long. Sometimes they're 30, but most of them are 25 feet, and it will all roll up and stow nicely inside there. The cap is missing off it. Unfortunately, you bought a used unit, and there's some things that we don't bother fixing, and that's one of the things that you can fix yourself, is get a cap for this. But until then, this will tuck away inside here, and it'll stay there. Shouldn't fall out on you until you get it where you need to be. Okay, over here, this is your water filling station. This cap comes off here so that you can stick a garden hose in there to fill your freshwater holding tank. As you're filling your freshwater holding tank, underneath your unit, there is a drain right here. If you can, I don't know if you can see that, but right here is the drain for your freshwater tank, and it is closed right now. I'll open it up, and we'll let any little bit of water that's in there drain out so it doesn't freeze. That has to be closed when you're filling this, and then watch your monitor panel in your trailer for it getting full. If you forget about this while you're filling it, there is a possibility that you can overfill the tank, and then the tank will pillow, it'll balloon out, and there's a chance that it could fall out of the hangers that are holding it up under your trailer. So when you're filling this freshwater holding tank, keep an eye on it, don't forget about it. As soon as it reads full on the monitor panel inside, shut the water off. Try not to overfill this tank if you can. This is called the city water hookup. As you can tell here, what you're doing when you put your garden hose here is you're bypassing pulling water out of your holding tank, and you're also bypassing the water pump, because when you have a garden hose hooked up here from somebody's house, you're getting water and water pressure from that garden hose. But because you can't be certain what that pressure is, we need to put a pressure regulator on here, which is in the starter kit, which is in the front compartment of your unit. It's a little brass valve that goes on here, and it regulates the water pressure going into your trailer to 45 PSI. That's critical. Make sure you use that when you're using the city water hookup, okay? Alrighty, I think we went by and missed the dump station. I'll have to go back this way a little bit. Yeah, okay, it's underneath the slide. That's the station right there where you hook up your dump hose so you can dump your gray and your black tanks. The pulls for operating those are right behind you here, and you can see there's the black tank pull there. The gray tank pull is missing.
Right there.
Yeah. Yes, right over top of it.
Right there.
Yeah, right over top of it. Okay. Stabilizer jacks at the back of the unit here. This is a 3/4 inch fitting here. So if you want to get a 3/4 inch socket for a cordless drill, then you can use that to run these jacks down to stabilize the back end of your unit and take the wiggle and wobble out of it when it's set up. Okay, coming around this way, we have a ladder here so that you can get up on top of your unit, check the roof of your unit, and also check the roof of the slide outs before you bring them in. This ladder is rated for 300 pounds. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I would only ask that when you're on the ladder, don't be bouncing up and down on it. It is just 4 screws and some adhesive holding it onto the fiberglass here. So when you are climbing up the ladder, don't bounce up and down on it. It can cause some cracking around the mounting points. Spare tire, pressure's all been checked, it's good to go. Tucked away back in here is some storage ramps and stuff. So, and this pops up, and I think it's used to be for a bike rack, I think. Okay, coming back around this way, this is the small bedroom slide. Out here you have the access for your refrigerator. There's no real need to go in here except twice a season. When you first start your unit up and you're going to use it in the spring, and when you put it away again in the fall, take the cover off here, look inside, just keep it clean. This is a sealed cavity, so nothing's getting into your unit, but you still don't want pine needles or flies or spiders and spider webs getting caught up inside here. So you take the cover off, vacuum it out or blow it out with some compressed air once or twice a year just to keep it clean. This is a hazard. This is the front of your unit. Here's your awning. So I want to make this known to you. This is the intake and the exhaust for your furnace. When your furnace is running, and only when it's running, the hot air coming out of this exhaust can burn kids and pets. It can melt stuff. It can start stuff on fire. Keep everything away from this, at least 18 inches. I'd go as much as 24. But again, only when the furnace is going to start up. So in the middle of the summer, it's not going to be a problem, but in the fall, if you're camping in August, September, if it gets cool in the evening and the furnace fires up, this becomes a hazard for kids and pets. Don't lean anything up against here. Other than that, not too much to worry about. Hot water tank. Inside here is your hot water tank. It has a brand new anode here to go in it. It goes in the plug hole down here. There is a switch right here for running it on electric. That switch has to be in the on position to run it on electric. I'm going to tell you right now, though, that most people don't bother with the electric because it's way, way, way more convenient to heat your water on gas. The electric element can take 40 minutes, 45 minutes to heat this tank of water. With the gas, it takes about 8 minutes to heat this tank of water. So that's why most people don't use the electric. Plus, they also got to remember, as soon as your tank is empty, you better remember to shut that switch off, or else you're going to burn that element out and you'll warp your tank, and then you're looking for a new hot water tank. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff when you run it on gas only. It runs when it needs heat and it shuts off when it doesn't. And when your unit is not running, it's not going to fire up either because there's no demand for hot water. So gas is the best way to run this. Okay. 120 volt power on the outside of your unit and the 120 volt power inside your unit. All of these receptacles are protected by the ground fault circuit interrupter that should be in your bathroom. It may also be in the kitchen by the sink if there's a receptacle by the sink. We'll point that out to you when we go inside the unit. Okay. Here's another hazard. 2 hazards with this unit. Got exhaust and these stairs. These stairs will hurt you if you're not careful. Folding them up like this, bad idea. Boom. I just broke my thumb. So always grab the handle underneath. Always stay off to the side, especially when you're taking them out. Because when you take them out, if I was to reach in here and grab this like this and pull it out and something happened, I'm stuck in here. I can't get out. Always go in with your palm up, pull it out, stay off to the side, because sometimes this step will want to come out all on its own. And that happened to me one time, and it hit me in the shin, and it hurts. Okay, so these can be a hazard when you're deploying them and when you're folding them back up again. When they're folded, the weight for the stairs will hold them into their bracket. But if you're worried about it bouncing out, there's a spreader bar on the top right here, and this spreader bar right here that you can run a bungee cord between the two, and that'll keep your stairs from falling out unnecessarily. Okay. Pass-through compartment. Here are some stands for your slides. And here's the top end of that tripod that goes under your pin. This is the starter kit that I mentioned. And here is the water pressure regulator. This needs to go on to that city water connection on your unit if you're going to use the city water connection, okay? There's also an adapter in here for your short cord to take it from a 30 amp head down to 15. You got a dump hose in here, some RV toilet paper, a really good 25-foot garden hose, some gloves, and some tank treatment stuff. On here also, this is the snap hook for your emergency breakaway cable. Here's the pull for your awning. Okay, that takes care of all of that stuff. Here's your other 30-pound propane bottle. And like I said, they're full, ready to go. Okay, back around to the front. That takes care of pretty much the outside of the unit. We're going to go inside now. If you have any questions about this kind of stuff, please remember that you can call us at any time. Get an RV tech like myself on the phone. We can talk you through stuff. Other RVers, I'm sure you have friends or family that also RV. They will have a load of information to help you as well. You can always use Google as well, but with Google you got to filter out what's useful information and what's not useful information. But friends and family and other RVers is going to be your best source for information and help with your unit should you forget some of these processes, okay? And of course, you can always phone us at any time. So we'll take it inside now. You're gonna have to stay there, Jeff. Okay, inside your unit, on the wall right here, these are the two switches for running your slides in and out. Right now they're both out, but if I push up, they will both start to come in. Switches here, this switch here is for ceiling lights. Oh, I gotta get us plugged in properly. We're not plugged in. How far did we get? Okay, slide buttons in and out. Lights here. This first one will turn on some ceiling lights in your dining area so that you'll have some light to see. These other three switches are for outside lights, the scare lights on your unit and for the lights in your awning, okay? All right, moving along, the next thing of importance. It's a monitor panel right here. So on this little panel is the monitor, and when we're plugged into shore power, you can see we got 4 lights there letting us know that we are getting a charging voltage at the battery. If you push this button and only see 3 lights there, your power cord might not be plugged in properly, or one of the fuses for the charging circuit might have blown. There's 2 fuses right here that are 40 amp fuses, and that's the charging circuit for your trailer. If those fuses are blown, then you won't have any 12 volt power in your unit at all. This is your power center up here. 120 volt breakers, and then automotive fuses for all of the 12 volt stuff, and everything is labeled properly. Furnace, refrigerator, bathroom, bedroom lights, living room lights, kitchen. Okay, so we'll close that up. And then back over here, you have a button for your fresh water holding tank, which is empty. Your black tank, which is your poo tank, your toilet, it's empty. Then you have a gray tank, which is going to be the kitchen or the bathroom sink and shower. And then the galley one, which is empty, is going to be your kitchen one. Down here, you have a switch for your water pump and a switch for your water heater. This is to turn it on gas. When you turn it on, the light will come on. The little light here will light up. When the water heater ignites, then the light will go out. It's not going to light now because the propane's turned off. Okay, very simple there. Microwave needs no explaining. Stove top. This stove has an igniter here for the 3 burners on the top, but there is no igniter for the oven. You still need a barbecue lighter to light the pilot light for your oven. Okay, next, the fridge. Fridge is pretty straightforward. There's 2 buttons up here, one to turn it on and off, and one to select between automatic and gas. I'm going to strongly recommend that you leave this on automatic. Right now it's turned on, and I can tell it's turned on because that's when the light works. And it's on automatic. What this means is that your fridge is going to run on 120 volt power. If for any reason the 120 volt power goes out, say there's an electrical storm or something, your fridge will automatically start itself on propane. It'll run on propane to keep everything cold, and when the power gets restored and you get 120 volt power back to your unit, it will automatically shut itself off the gas and go back to running on 120 volt power again. That's the best way to run your fridge. Trying to run this on gas all the time, you will burn through a lot of propane, especially if the fridge is only half full. It takes a lot of propane to run the fridge and keep things cold. So automatic is the best way to go. If you ever lose power, it automatically starts up on propane, and then it shuts itself off propane and goes back to power again when the power is restored to your unit. Okay, at the back here, that's the access to your water pump there. The panel is missing. We don't know where it went, so that's just how it's going to be. You have a liquid propane and carbon monoxide detector there, which is a brand new one, so that will have to be changed in 7 years. Smoke detector has been replaced. It's a brand new one, so that will have to be replaced in 10 years. Okay, that's about it in the back. There's not too much in the back. Couple of bunk beds and some shelving and storage and stuff like that. Turn these lights out right now. See how things are flickering. Up into the front of the unit, your master bedroom, wonderful master bedroom. Around here beside the sink for the bathroom, here's the ground fault circuit interrupter. If there's no power on the 120 volt receptacles in your unit, this puppy here probably tripped. So just reset it. That'll bring your power back. Bathroom, okay. Shower stall to the left. Closet here. Another smoky and carbon monoxide detector in here. And then underneath your bed is some storage. And what is in this big bag here is an outside room. It attaches to your unit and it gives you a little more space outside, like a little gazebo kind of thing for outside. Okay, that's about it. Turn all these lights out. So, if you ever need to do service or repairs on your unit, a technician can come to your unit and do those repairs. I would ask you to only do one thing, and that's on your front door. Don't lock the deadbolt. I have a master key that will let me into your trailer unless that deadbolt's locked. I don't have a key for the deadbolt. Nobody does. So if someone's coming to fix your unit, if you're dropping it off at an RV dealership to get some work done, make sure the deadbolt's not locked. You can lock everything else up. We'll be able to get in and we can lock it up again when we're done. The water system. I explained to you that your water system, your hot water tank, has a button on the actual tank to run the electric element. However, I do strongly recommend you just run it on gas. That's the best way, and it's the safest way. You're not going to ask for any unnecessary problems that way. Draining your tanks. I showed you where the drain was for your freshwater holding tank, and then your gray and your black tanks, you just pull the poles on them and they'll drain themselves. The delivery prep agreement. That's the agreement between you and your salesperson. So I think everything has been met. Yep. And then one set of keys. You have one key for your compartments and 2 keys for the door. I'm going to call it one set of keys though. So that's about it. Thank you for buying a Vision RV trailer, and enjoy yourself. Have a great summer, and we hope you can come back.